We hope it's not real technical issues. I just have to make Councillor Robinson the. Uh-oh, Lisa, maybe. Uh-oh. This Councillor Robertson just left.
Take them down.
Now we're right. There we go.
Wherever they need to go.
There we go.
There he is.
There you
Thank you.
Thank you. So I'd like to call our regular council meeting of Tuesday, March 24th to order. Respectfully acknowledging that this meeting is being held on the traditional territory of the Clover people, De La Casa. May I have approval of the agenda as presented? Councillor Tidbury, seconded by Councillor Smith. All in favor? Carried. We have our minutes of the special council meeting held February 24th for adoption. Moved by Councillor Dorwin, seconded by Councillor Tidbury. Any errors or omissions? All in favor? Carried. We have our minutes of the regular council meeting held March 10th, 2026 for adoption. Moved by Councillor Dorwin, seconded by Councillor Smith. Any errors or omissions? All in favor? Carried. And we have a delegation, Tammy Tate, Executive Director, Hope Air, with an update to council. So Tammy, why don't you join us at the table?
I've been moved to the table.
You can move to the table.
I'll trade it. Thank you.
And thank you for all that you do, and thank you for coming in person and doing this
very much.
presentation.
Thank you. This is my,
I think it is. Maybe just try right. I don't know, we know it works.
gonna happen. Thank you very much, first and foremost, for having me here tonight. I really, truly appreciate coming here. I think it's important that we all see our faces and what we do. It's one thing to know this charity exists. It's another thing to know that we're actually boots on the ground. So about Hope Air. Hope Air is Canada's only national charity. We provide travel and travel and accommodation for Canadians in financial need. Universal healthcare is a point of pride in Canada. Unfortunately, we all know access to healthcare isn't always equal. So our vision here is a world in which every Canadian has access to healthcare that they need, regardless of the distance and the cost of travel. Providing Canadians, sorry, I just got into town, so. Providing Canadians in financial needs with free travel. Oh, doesn't want to move now.
Uh-oh. Let me just help you.
Okay,
Now try. There.
there we go. I always like to put these slides in because it just drives home the fact of the rural situation. Alexandria has been flying with us for a little while now. She has 19 trips that she's taken from Smithers. With that, we take care of the flight, and in this case, we do not do accommodation, but she does get her transfers when she arrives and her vouchers for food so that most things are taken care of. And our goals, as I mentioned, it's always the same loop. It's the better health outcomes. The quicker we get patients to see specialists, the quicker they're back to work, the quicker they're healthier. We actually have statistics further ahead here that do show we've been able to quantify that now, that there is a cost number there where if somebody gets to a specialist on the first appointment and back to work, there's a very large dollar savings to those people. Reduce poverty for those living in remote and rural communities in financial need. In the bigger centers, we see the larger economy, and in the rural centers that changes. So these areas are important, and again, there needs to be equitable access. Stronger communities when facilitate that travel. As I mentioned, they're back into their homes and back with their families where they need to be. Hope Air programs, while our program is focused on air travel, we do try to offer as much as we can. Some of our programs have a full suite, so flights, transportation, hotel, and meals. In BC, this has changed. I do know that the council wrote us a letter a while back, which was much appreciated, that we sent forward while we were advocating for all the services. Anyways, and then there's Newton Merle there. They're from Haida Gwaii. Newt has traveled with us for several years now. He would have lost his eyesight had he not. So he's able to age in place, and I can't remember how many trips. It's a lot. About $75,000 we figured with we put a number on it. Yeah. So Hope Air flights, we do free travel on commercial flights and also with volunteer pilots. Here in Port Hardy, we're fortunate, we do have a volunteer pilot who can cover this area. So you can fly right into Port Hardy and take them down island or over to the mainland for their appointments. We also have Pacific Coastal here as well, so that's there. I just like to highlight we have the two programs because the volunteer pilot program is small but mighty and really helpful in small rural areas. So the travel program includes escort tickets when medically necessary. So if you're going for a hip replacement, you don't need to be alone. You're gonna need help getting home. So we do, or as a child, we do pay for the escort as well. We do partner with all commercial airlines, national and regional services. We do have, like I mentioned, the private aircraft travel, and we have a dedicated air client team. They take care of everything. Somebody calls in there, and our team is there to ensure that we take that headache off their plate. We also manage booking and the cancellations, which I should bring up in BC because we do see that a lot, weather dependent. That team's available all the time to fix tickets, change stuff around, do whatever needs to be done for them. These are our programs in BC. So we have two. We have the Cancer Travel Support Program. It's fully funded by the Ministry of Health. We have a great partnership with the Canadian Cancer Society to support seamless travel supports. This is a great program. This is the program that does also have the accommodation to it. This program grant ends March 31st. We're just waiting to hear on pins and needles what the next contract is going to look like based on the fiscal situation we're in. So more to come on that. Our general support program, that's every other disease that's out there or illness or special reasons to travel. We get partial funding through PHSA, and then the rest of it comes from donors and partners. So we really do our part out there to ensure there's an equitable sharing of expenses there. We support, we prioritize air travel with additional supports provided based on available funding. So that would be the accommodation. If we were able to secure another wonderful grant or the government had the ability to be more generous, then we would see accommodation back on the table. Eligibility. The patient has a confirmed medical appointment requiring them to travel. Their medical treatment is covered under the provincial health plan, and they're in financial need, and they are able to provide us with the total household income for the past 12 months. How to apply? That's just simple. It's a website, and it's very simple when you go on it, apply for travel, put in your information, you'll be contacted pretty quickly. 230 communities served in British Columbia so far. We're pretty proud of that statistic. It grows regularly. You can see we're getting further up into the north there as time goes by. Our impact for 2025. This is the national, nope, this is BC. This is BC's impact. 22,095 total travel arrangements. So that's 5,628 patients with escorts.
That's in 1 year.
Yeah, over 9,000 flights, 5,000 accommodation nights, those vouchers, and the airport rides. We also saw 42, that's the number I was speaking of earlier, a 42% reduction in missed appointments when people can actually afford to get to them. And that little lady there is Scotia from Campbell River. She's been traveling with us for a few years. She flies with our volunteer pilot program over to Children's Hospital to get her medical attention. She has a heart condition. And I'll just read the quote. I could never have afforded the travel cost involved in my treatment without Hope Air. Because of Hope Air, I know that I will be able to make every appointment and to complete my treatments I know that I have people in my corner and I cannot thank them enough. I love the quotes because I know that there's the person behind that and they're getting better. And at the end of it all, that's what I came here to share tonight. I'm Tammy Tate, and our VPP in British Columbia, Stephanie Aldridge, couldn't make it with me tonight, but anyhow, that's our contact info if you want to get a hold of us. And I'm open to any questions you might have.
Well, I think it's a fantastic program. I fully support it. Matter of fact, on my suitcases, I got all your tags.
That's wonderful. The luggage tag?
Yes.
Yes, they're coveted. I love them when I'm in the airport because they're very blue and you see them, so
Yeah.
you know when there's someone around. I did have some numbers I wanted to share too, just for this area. I don't know if everyone's just gotten super healthy here, but in 2024, we did 380 travel arrangements here in Port Hardy. And then last year we did 53.
Holy.
Oh, that's interesting.
Well, and it's one of those things in this industry, I can't tell you why. I'm just hoping everybody's having a really healthy year and all as well.
I wonder if some people don't realize that you've got to, because for cancer treatments, it's usually Campbell River or Victoria. And sometimes people go to Vancouver. I wonder if they don't realize that perhaps they could use Hope Air to get down for cancer treatments too,
Yeah, absolutely.
or other
I
special
definitely do
appointments.
because I belong to the Lions Club and we get quite a number of requests
Okay.
for travel.
Well, please let them know we're here.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
We'd very much like to see that number change. One of the things I had looked at was the idea that perhaps taking the accommodation piece out was quite a detriment to people traveling, because if you have to go to Vancouver, yep, it doesn't matter that we paid for $1,000 flight because the hotel room's $500.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, I mean, we're working on that, you know, and we're hoping that with the advocacy, we'll see it come back. Just waiting and seeing. But other than that, I don't know why. And you can never really come to a firm conclusion, except when I hear people are contacting the Lions, I think, well, maybe I should
Yeah.
give you some brochures.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
I think if you left
Yeah.
brochures at the front and then with John with the lions,
Those, and I will run some more here in the morning because I have
Okay.
more.
that would be great. Thank you. Any other comments?
Good work.
Thank you.
Thank you for making the trip here.
Absolutely.
So thank you very much. And I know I have talked to people in the community that have used Hope Air to get to Vancouver for treatment, and one whose husband has used it, so she's been the escort, and they have said it's been their lifesaver.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you very much.
That makes my heart happy and it makes me glad to know. I'm actually going out to the airport tomorrow and I'm going to meet, it was Zoltan?
Yeah.
And we're gonna see if we can put some posters and stuff up there as well and just keep the word going out here, because when I see numbers fall, I get antsy.
That's interesting. Such a drastic
huge-
change.
It's huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which led me to the assumption. Cause I can't
Well,
prove it, but
yeah.
it's like, well, the only change was, and is that it? Or as I said, it could too be that someone was requiring a lot of travel. But that's a significant drop.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
that's why I drove up here today.
Well, I appreciate it. And when you have a booth at UBCM, or
Yes,
we're always there and stop to visit. So
we're not going this year, but no, just the election year and all that, and just all the work that we're doing at the provincial level as well. We're just taxed. We're a small crew. There's
Right.
I'm gonna say there's about 40 of us in the whole country.
across the country. Oh,
We are small but mighty.
yes. Yes. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And Tammy, you're welcome to stay, but you don't have to stay.
I love those words.
That's
I'm going to leave some Post-it notes here.
great.
And a stack of pens. And yeah, I appreciate that very much. I will go and enjoy Port Hardy.
Awesome, thank you.
Okay, yeah, keep those.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get my computer. Thank you so, would you guys take a picture with me? Would that be something that could be done?
Yeah,
Where would you like it?
Anywhere.
Fred?
Oh, with Fred.
Yeah.
yeah.
Except, you know what, I've left my,
It's okay, I'll take the picture and then I can send it.
oh, thanks.
You do. We'll even cut out the sauce. Okay, Councilor Robertson, are you ready to smile? Perfect, one down, just so that I'm not getting just in head. There we go. Excellent, thank you.
Thank you.
Very
Thank
much.
you very much. Oh, just so you guys know, it's our 40th anniversary.
Wow.
I forgot to share that.
That's a long time, yeah. It is a long time.
It is. It's incredible, the work that's been done since 1986, so, yeah.
1986.
I have been with this organization for just over a year now. Yeah. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful evening and
Thank you.
enjoy the rest of your meeting.
Right, we have the draft minutes of the, oh, sorry, correspondence. No, that's it. Business arising from the minutes. We have the council action item report for March 10th for information. No new business. Under correspondence, we have Rebecca Bishop, Program Officer, UBCM, regarding our 2024 CEPF, Volunteer and Composite Fire Department's Equipment and Training, and the compliance project. And yeah, congratulations to the fire department for getting everything in and soon to get the new or the completion of the, what is it, the final payment.
And unfortunately, as we've used the Community Emergency Preparedness Fund a lot, and we were unsuccessful in our final application just recently. However, I did just want to highlight the fact that UBCM has been very supportive of the District of Port Hardy, and we have received almost every grant that we have put in. So this will be the first one we've actually been denied on in a large number of years.
And do you think that's because of the budget constraint?
It's the oversubscription this time, and I think with it being the final announcement of funding for a period of time, it became oversubscribed. And so we went into it kind of knowing that we probably weren't going to be successful. We tried our darndest to get it approved, but unfortunately, we were up against about 150% more applicants this time.
Wow. I'm glad we've worked so successful in the past and hopefully in the future we're get back on a roll. All right, we have the draft minutes of the Parks and Recreation, Arts and Culture Committee meeting held March 10th for information. Councilor Robertson, did you want to talk about the committee meeting or just go into the recommendation?
Well, I was going to make it a part of the recommendation, but I was just going to say briefly, excuse me, that the recommendations that you see, they may have come out of the old format that we had with Parks and Rec. However, the return to the format that we had before of the Parks and Rec meeting and ops meeting, I think allows for a little bit more freewheeling conversation and just brainstorming of ideas. So that's kind of where both of these recommendations come from. And they're not a suggestion that that it happen instantly, but it be something that we look at over time. I think, John, you were talking about the first one in terms of the Stink Creek Park and putting that as a long-term priority for budgeting in the upcoming budget years as they approach. So I don't know if you wanted me to move the first recommendation.
Sure.
Yep, I would move that first recommendation then.
And seconded by Councilor Kidberry. Any comments or questions? No. All in favor? Any opposed?
And the second recommendation came from, I think, probably me. And it's just about, with the generous donation of the tennis of the pad that's being put in out of the beach area, that it would be great, wouldn't it, if it could be covered in some way to make it accessible year round. And so this is, and Heather had pointed out that in order to install the requisite foundational requirements for that, for an initial covering, it would be cost prohibitive. And so this is just a look at other ways to go about covering the area at some point down the road, to make it accessible in all year round. And I think, who was it that had Jason had a connection with somebody that manufactured the air domes. And so he was going to look into cost and availability and things.
I'll
So
second.
I would move it.
Moved by Councillor Robertson, second by Councillor Tidbury. Any comments? All in favor? Carried. We have the draft minutes of the Tourism Advisory Committee held March 12th for information, and as well as a recommendation. So Councillor Tidbury, you're on the Tourism
I am.
Advisory.
Oh, who's the
Where's
chair?
the item?
Committee of the whole.
And one item up.
Oh, sorry, I missed one of the,
Yeah.
sorry. We have the draft committee of the whole meeting held
Okay.
at March 10th for information. Any comments, errors? Fingers moving it up too quickly, sorry about that. All right, on to the draft minutes of the Tourism Advisory Committee held March 12th. And, Don, it's the,
Yeah,
I thought that
okay,
the-
but I'll talk for Donna. Okay, one of the big things was the ferry between ourselves and Prince Rupert. And one of the hoteliers asked what if it couldn't dock earlier than later. Because they don't get in there till about after 2:30 or so now. So the question then comes from the tourist point of view is, do they just go straight down island from that point in time? Or do they go to the hotels? And we sent a letter off to BC Ferries. I think we did, didn't we?
We haven't sent the letter yet, but somebody from the tourism committee inquired.
Okay, so one of the reasons why the delay, and I mentioned one, was that they stopped going up as well as coming back in either in Clem 2 or Bella Bella. So that takes over an hour to do the docking and things like that. And the other, and it still kind of didn't add up to the time of the sailings. So the other point is the speed of the ship. They've slowed down the speed of the ship. It used to go 19 knots coming down. So I don't know what it does now. But apparently it's slower.
Councillor Robertson.
Yeah, so John, help me a little bit. The ferry used to come in at about 10 or 10:30 at night, didn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, 11 o'clock was the latest, yeah.
Yeah, so this, I am a little flummoxed with this, I have to say. And, we can sit around our council table and say, this is not conducive to tourism in our community, and it's not. But I look back to the decision of BC Ferries that happened a year or two ago, 2 years now, discontinue and disband the ferry advisory committees. Had the ferry advisory committees been in place, this would have come, this schedule change would have come, and we would have immediately drawn up the concerns that hotel, if you arrive in a community at 2:30 in the morning, Councillor Tidbury is quite right. You're going to make the decision, do I want to stay there? Or am I going to just keep on going till dawn coming up as I enter into Campbell River? I can't speak to the same knowledge with the vacation packages that seem to be not offered, but in terms of schedule changes, and that is why the ferry advisory committees existed. That is why a number of people spoke at UBCM and again at an online session on how detrimental the loss of those committees is, the loss of the voice of our communities on changes like this that have a huge impact on our communities. So, I mean, I'm also in favor of communicating separately this letter that's going to BC Ferries, but also separately saying to BC Ferries that there is a problem when you can affect our communities so much by one little decision, and all of a sudden our community has no input into that. I find that frustrating, and I find it wrong. And I find that BC Ferries is making decisions, wanting to make decisions that make things may make life easier for them, but not necessarily for the communities they serve. So it does tick me off a lot, I have to say.
Councillor Smith?
Councillor Tidbury, at
Yep.
the meeting, was it discussed that it's the same arrival time at Prince Rupert? That same time, like 1 a.m. in the morning?
Yeah,
And then is there no longer the Discovery Coast is no longer servicing the smaller communities? Is that?
oh,
what the issue-
that's on the Seawolf, that's the Seawolf that goes over to Bellabella and then Bella Coola.
So why is the Inside Passage stopping at the smaller communities? Like, I don't understand.
Well,
So,
one way, it did stop on the way up,
Cause
but
this is.
but on the way back, it didn't stop.
Is this for summer or is this for the winter schedule?
It was this is a summer schedule.
Oh my God, yeah.
It's a horrible time
Yeah.
to arrive in Port Hardy. And don't forget, this was from the hotelier, but don't remember, we got a whole whack of B&Bs
Councillor Robertson is correct. Like, this has a major impact on tourism
tremendous.
in our area, not just Port Hardy. Yeah. There's so much to explore up here that if you're just gonna get in
And to hear about it after the fact is unacceptable.
agreed.
so, CAO Nelson Smith?
Just 2 points if I could, Mayor. One, we did receive information after the tourism meeting that said that the sailing is actually longer now because of a new marine transportation rule that states that the ferry must reduce its speed in designated areas for the protection of marine wildlife. So that's a reason for the slowing. But the other thing is to also point out that there is a discontinuation of the selected vacation packages for locals here as well. So there's 2 parts to this motion. I think that just in terms of council's awareness of what the tourism committee is looking for. The timing of the ferry, and Louisa and I had a conversation about this as well. They're having to slow down in the Inside Passage. If they have to roll back the times, it now rolls back the times for every single dock. And so this will be where BC Ferries will have to respond with how that's been looked at for the impact, because if they have to take their time to come into Hardy, they're gonna have to slow, they're also gonna have to change the start time when they leave Haida and landing time when they land in Prince Rupert in order to accommodate that. And I know back in the day when we did end up with those ships that take longer to come through the inside passage, just due to navigable waters and the fact that obviously the QPR and the Queen of the North ran a little bit faster, and with the different kinds of weather, that did have a lot of impact on the dockings as well. So just some things to kind of highlight that we'll definitely probably hear back from BC Ferries. But I think the vacation packages is a good one as well.
So do you recommend, this motion of, writing a letter?
I think council should know exactly why, and going to Councillor Robertson's point, the fact that it would have normally have been advised whether there'd be any ability to change that based on the fact that it's a marine navigation requirement to slow down. But the fact that vacation packages are gone for sure are definitely something that we should find out more about.
Councillor Robertson?
Yeah, I appreciate the information and the reason for the slowdown. However, my point remains that had this gone to a ferry advisory committee with all of those communities sitting around, there are a lot of mariners on those typically who come to those, and various options can be looked at, could have been looked at. As it was, there were options presented to us. I mean, there's always options. There's always options. And some of them may not be as popular as others.
So what's the will of everybody about this recommendation?
I'll make the motion as presented.
I'll second.
Second by Councillor Robertson. Any other comments? All in favor? Carried. All right, we have a staff report from Heather Nelson Smith, CAO, appointment of the chief election and deputy chief election officers. So we have a recommendation that council appoint Heather Nelson Smith as the chief election officer for the 2026 general election, and Louisa Bates as the deputy chief election officer for the 2026 general local election, accordance with the local government act.
Make that motion.
Moved by Councillor Tidbury, second by Councillor Robertson. Any comments? All in favor? Carried. Thank you. We have no bylaws or resolutions in the package. We don't have no pending bylaws. Council reports. Councillor Robertson.
I'm losing light here. The power's still out here, so I'll bring folks up to date. It's been not too busy, so I'll bring folks up to date next meeting.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Smith.
Thank you, Mayor. Not too much to report either. March 12th, we had our council to council meeting. I hope that we maintain the frequency to keep the momentum going. I thought that was a really good meeting. I enjoyed all the conversation that was brought forward. And March 18th had the Port Hardy Heritage Society. They're doing a really good job of building capacity within their staff and getting education. It's pretty amazing. And looking at like the arts, culture, and history, we're creating a great little hub. And of course, paired with literacy, it's kind of really cool synergies that are going on. So good things to come.
I noticed that they're advertising for youth fund, for summer
Yeah.
youth
Mhm.
to work at the museum.
They've been successful at grants as well, which is great.
Amazing.
Thank you, Mayor.
That's it. Okay. Councillor Gold.
Pretty short for me too. I also went to the community meeting. And yeah, I think we're getting some good momentum. I feel like we're getting to know each other and some trust is being built up.
Yeah.
And I think that's really important. That'll help us move forward. So that was really good. And I'm looking forward to going to the Truck Logger Association meeting in Campbell River on Thursday. There's a screening of BC is Burning, which is a very good documentary. And so I'll report back on that when I return.
You'll like it.
That sounds like it's really good.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff.
Councillor Tidbury.
I've done regional district meetings. Not very much out of that one. the tourist meeting, and told you about the ferry situation there. Did a tabletop emergency program over at the fire hall, and that was a really successful day. That was a lot of new ideas came out of that, and that was I thought that was great. Do you agree?
I-
I have to check with the boss. And I did the C2C, and I've done the seniors events. This Thursday we'll have a meal.
Thank you. So for myself, the C2C, I agree, was excellent, and I'm hoping that we'll have more, not just with the FIGO, but with the Quetzino and with West Island Aqueduct, but I agree, it was very good, and with building the trust and the conversations and discussion, it was great. Along with Counselor Tidbury and Counselor Dugas attended the Hardy Boys, their transfer of ownership, and the ceremony was lovely, and congratulations to Bruce and Carol for staying with the business as long as they did, and I likened it to Mackendale's where they held on and wanted to keep it in the community, didn't want to just close it down, but sell it as a business. And the new owners are going to keep the name and hopefully carry on the legacy of Bruce and Carol. So that it was very touching and very nice, and
It was very nice.
yeah. Attended the RDMW, the finance meetings and the regular meetings, and so that's moving along. Had a meeting with the new vice president of Island Health, Indigenous and Rural and Remote Communities, Dawn Thomas, and just basically an introduction to her and what she'll be working with us up here on retention, recruitment, and helping out. And then had a conversation with Minister Osborne, and then the next day, the announcement about the $45 million on renovating the hospital, and amazing news. 40 years we've had this hospital that has not had any major renovation or major work, and it just adds to the recruitment and retention. And I truly get, we want our hospital back open 24/7, and that hopefully this will help draw people in. But if anyone knows of someone that wants to be a lab tech, I had the fortune to go down to Port McNeill on Saturday night at the hospital down there, and they're lovely, absolutely lovely. And luckily it wasn't anything more serious. But talking to the doctor who had been working in Emerge in Port Hardy during the daytime, and the lab tech phoned in sick, and she goes, it was a scramble not to close the Emerge in Port Hardy to keep it open as much as they have. So it's so precarious. So it's just like, we want everybody happy. So we want a really modern hospital and good conditions. So hopefully this will help. But 45 million, what a win for the North Island. Yeah. All right, information, March 30th, the planning committee, March 31st, transgender day of visibility. April 1st at the Civic Center is, oh, what's it called? There's an event there for, oh, there's a special title for it, but let me see if I can find the title.
It's on the tip of my tongue too.
Put on by Better Home.
Yeah.
It's called Social Prescribing Seniors Fair at the Civic Center from 10 o'clock until 3 o'clock. It'll be free, so if anyone wants to go, everybody's welcome. The, and then on this Sunday coming up is the immigration. Thought I took a picture of it too, to remind myself about it. It's at the Civic Center as well during the daytime, and I'm gonna take a picture of it to remind myself, but it's put on by the Immigration Coalition. And it's open to everybody as well at the Civic Center. And then coffee with the mayor, regular committees. All right. No notice of in camera, motion to adjourn. Counselor Dorward, Counselor Tippler.
No, it's slow.
Questions? Sean?
Yeah,